What if I told you that the most sophisticated clinical trial in human history didn't happen in a billion-dollar laboratory, but across the vast, unforgiving wilderness of this continent over 40,000 years? What if I told you that while we've been conditioned to rely on synthetic patents and corporate labels, the blueprint for human survival has been growing quietly beneath your feet this entire time? The Native American medicine tradition isn't folklore or poetic superstition. It is high-precision biological engineering that allowed a population to thrive without a single hospital, pharmacy, or syringe. We have been taught to look at the woods as a scenic backdrop, but to the original healers, it was a living periodic table of medicine. Today, for Ancient Vitality, I'm going to show you 7 forgotten healers that modern science is finally admitting are more effective than the drugs we've been sold. One of these is a lichen that kills bacteria modern antibiotics can't touch, and another is a battlefield medic that can stop a hemorrhage in seconds. Let's unlock the chemistry of the wild. We begin with the forest's most overlooked sentinel, Usnea. Most people walk past this greenish-gray lichen hanging from tree branches, often called old man's beard, and think it's just dead moss. But native healers across the Pacific Northwest and the Appalachians knew it as a premier biological weapon against infection. Usnea isn't actually a plant. It's a symbiotic powerhouse of fungus and algae that produces a rare compound called usnic acid. Modern peer-reviewed research has confirmed that usnic acid is a potent antimicrobial that targets gram-positive bacteria, including several antibiotic-resistant strains like MRSA that have left modern doctors baffled. Unlike synthetic antibiotics that wipe out your entire microbiome, Usnea targets pathogens with surgical precision. It represents the ultimate forest antibiotic, a medicine that was used for deep lung congestion and infected wounds centuries before the first pharmaceutical company was ever incorporated. From the trees, we move to the ancient hedgerows to find a plant that modern science is now calling the immune fortress, the elderberry. Long before it was a trendy drugstore syrup packed with sugar and fillers, the Cherokee and Iroquois built entire survival traditions around this deep purple fruit. While modern marketing tries to simplify it, the chemical reality is far more complex. Elderberries are packed with anthocyanins, pigments that do far more than provide color. These compounds physically bind to the spikes of a virus, effectively handcuffing the pathogen and inhibiting its ability to hijack healthy human cells. Clinical trials have now proven that elderberry extract can reduce the duration of viral infections by up to 4 days. It is a biological advanced defense team, activating your internal cytokine response before a pathogen can ever gain a foothold in your system. The journey continues with a plant the ancient warriors called life medicine, the yarrow. To the untrained eye, it's just a common roadside weed with feathery leaves, but to a native healer, it was an entire emergency room contained in a single stem. Yarrow is a rare, triple-threat botanical. It contains hemostatic alkaloids that trigger blood clotting almost instantly on contact. But it doesn't stop there. It also carries volatile oils like camphor and cineole, which act as a natural antiseptic and anti-inflammatory agents that accelerate tissue repair. It is the definitive battlefield medic of the natural world. If you were to crush this plant and pack it into a deep wound today, the pharmacology would work exactly as it did for the warriors of the Great Plains, stopping the hemorrhage, killing bacteria, and sealing the life force within minutes, long before a sterile bandage could ever be reached. This level of precision carries over to the Great Plains' most famous protector, echinacea. Before it was a commercialized supplement sitting on a pharmacy shelf, it was the primary immune activator for the Lakota, Pawnee, and Comanche tribes. Native healers understood a critical nuance that modern users often miss. Echinacea is not a daily maintenance vitamin. It is an acute biological trigger. Modern research has confirmed that echinacea specifically targets your macrophages, the frontline soldier cells of your immune system, while increasing the production of interferon, the body's primary antiviral signaling molecule. By stimulating the lymphatic system, it forces your body to recognize and neutralize threats at a cellular level. It is a master switch for the human immune response, designed by nature to be flipped the moment the first sign of an invader is detected. Deep in the mountain forests, we find a ground-hugging shrub with a specialized mission, Uva ursi. Tribes across the northern regions identified this plant as a specific warrior for the urinary tract long before we understood internal metabolic pathways. Modern phytochemistry has finally decoded how they were so accurate. The leaves contain arbutin, a compound that the human body expertly converts into hydroquinone. This potent antimicrobial is then excreted through the kidneys, delivering a concentrated dose of medicine directly to the site of infection. It is a smart bomb of the botanical world, finding its target with a level of biological accuracy that researchers are still trying to fully replicate in the lab. For the complexities of the female biological rhythm, the eastern woodland tribes turned to black cohosh. While Western medicine dismissed women's folklore for generations, black cohosh is now the most studied botanical in clinical medicine for reproductive transitions. What makes it extraordinary is that it doesn't rely on plant estrogens. Instead, it works through serotonin receptor pathways to balance the body's internal temperature and mood. It is an elegant piece of biological engineering that Native American women mastered centuries ago, providing a masterclass in hormonal harmony that pharmaceutical companies are only now beginning to map out. Finally, we reach the most misunderstood healer in the wild, goldenrod. Millions of people curse this plant every autumn, blaming its bright yellow plumes for allergies it doesn't even cause. While we were busy misidentifying it, native healers were using it as a sophisticated renal and respiratory purifier. Modern science has found that goldenrod is rich in saponins and flavonoids that act as a superior diuretic, flushing the kidneys without depleting the body's essential electrolytes. It is the ultimate example of a healer hiding in plain sight, a cross-culturally validated medicine that waves at us from every roadside, waiting for us to stop being customers and start being humans again. The truth is simple. The knowledge was always here, and the plants never left. We walked away from this wisdom because it couldn't be patented or put behind a corporate paywall. But the blueprint for peak vitality is still growing in the meadows and forests around you. These 7 healers are not just relics of the past. They are the tools for your biological future. Smash that like button if this video opened your eyes to the pharmacy growing in your backyard. Drop a comment below. Did you know that goldenrod was actually innocent of your allergies this whole time? I read every comment because we are building a community of truth. Subscribe to Ancient Vitality, and we'll see you in the next one.